All right, gonna go now.
All right.
This year's Michigan women's basketball team has reached a number of heights not previously accomplished in the program's 48-year history, and the latest first occurred earlier this afternoon when the Wolverines checked in at 7th in the AP poll, the highest ranking that any Michigan team has ever achieved. And now, the Wolverines will set out to ascend even higher, a task that starts out tonight against Purdue. Hello and welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball. Alongside Neil Sinha, I'm Jared Greenspan. We're perched inside Chrysler Center, eagerly awaiting tonight's matchup between the Wolverines and the visiting Boilermakers.
Yeah, great game ahead for all of you. The Wolverines are trying to keep up with number 6 Indiana right now in the Big Ten standings. Of course, Indiana is 6-0 in conference. Michigan is 7-1. And then you have Purdue, who's sitting at 3-4. So this could be maybe a little bit of an upset. Who knows if Purdue can show up here and play the game that, you know, they're going to need to beat the number 7 team in the country, which, like you said, is uncharted territory for this Michigan women's basketball program. So very exciting news, very exciting game coming up today.
Both teams have taken the floor. Purdue in their road blacks, Michigan wearing the home all whites. Naz Hillman and Ricky Woltman ready to jump it away. Purdue wins the tip, launches up ahead of the field, and it's a quick lay-in for Madison Layden. And 7 seconds into the ballgame, the Boilermakers lead 2-0. It's the usual 5 starters out there for Michigan: Naz Hillman, Maddie Nolan, Danielle Roush, Leah Brown, and Emily Kaiser. It's Brown high in the right wing, giving the right side corner for Roush. Roush working with Janae Terry off the bounce on the right wing. Slows things down, tosses to the point for Kaiser. Kaiser with 10 to shoot, lumbers left, picks up her dribble, kicks back right side Roush, scoots by Terry, lowers the shoulder at the block. Cross-court feed on the left wing, Leah Brown. She's got a heave. She does. It's off the rim. Kaiser with the board. Goes back up. Won't go, but she's fouled. And Emily Kaiser will head to the stripe 38 seconds into this one with Purdue up 2-0.
Yeah, in great position right there by Emily Kaiser to seal her defender off and go up for that offensive rebound. And listen, they're going to need a lot from Emily Kaiser. They've been asking a lot from her all season long. Of course, this is a team that lost Haley Brown, one of their talented big-time centers from last year. So, you know, they've been looking for a replacement in that production, as well as Amy Dilk, who's been dealing with a bunch of injuries this season, and Maddie Nolan in the backcourt has stepped up in her replacement.
Kaiser, a 74% free throw shooter on the year, knocks down a pair. We're tied at 2, 38 seconds in, Michigan and Purdue. Moving right to left for the Boilermakers is Ellis. She veers right and hands off for Terry. Terry working with Roush, one of the 5 out there for Purdue. Flips it along the left side for Layden, works the baseline, pulls up off the bounce, left the jumper short, and it's Naz Hillman with her first rebound of the game. Drops it off for Roush, hurries across the timeline down the near side. She's picked up by Terry, lobs underneath for Hillman, doubled, puts it up, puts it in. Off glass for a pair, Naz Hillman on the board first, 4-2 Michigan.
And that's just too good, and that's Naz Hillman. That's why she's currently one of the best players in the country for Michigan.
Catching it up top is Ellis, pressed by Brown, flips it along the left wing for Harden, working with Hillman, gives in the corner for Layden. She's got the only bucket on the night so far for the Boilermakers. Splits the defense, arcs it over his shoulder for Woltman. Rolling to the basket, she missed the lay-in, and Kaiser clears. Roush left to right, hurries down the far side with Terry, drops it underneath for Hillman. Doubled at the right block, kicks it for Nolan, swings left wing Roush, high-low underneath Kaiser, comes down with it, layup, rolls off the rim. She missed a bunny, and Woltman clears.
Yeah, 2 missed layups back-to-back there. Both teams are going to be not very happy about that. But we'll see what Purdue can come here.
Ellis snakes around the screen to the top of the key. Fake the pass underneath, giving the right wing for Harden. Dribble handoff for Layden. Shot clock at 13. Layden pressed on the perimeter. Skip pass left side, goes to Ellis. Lets the 3 fly, in and out. It was halfway down, sputtered out. Naz clears. Left to right, she's rumbling in a hurry. Playing point forward, stopped at the elbow. Dishes left side Kaiser. Swinging around in the corner for Maddie Nolan. Passed up a 3. Given the left wing for Kaiser, drops it underneath for Hillman. She's doubled, now tripled, trying to get out of it. Kicks up top, Leah Brown. Shot clock at 10, drops it underneath for Naz. Lefty hook shot off the window. It goes down. 4 points for Naz Hillman. Michigan up 6-2, 7:35 left to play in the first.
She's so good at positioning herself down low and just getting a quick post move to get an easy layup like that.
Layden curls right, dribbling on the perimeter, working with Leah Brown. Pushes left side for Harden, scoots by Hillman, drops it off in the baseline for Holtman. She's warded off on the baseline by Kaiser, gives up top for Ellis. Ellis on the crossover, drives right, slips underneath, and Brown poked it loose. Nolan has it. Quick outlet for Brown, looking to flag it down, trying to save it, and she does, but it goes right to Layden. Brown crashes into the cheerleaders. It's a 5-on-4. Ellis on the left wing pulls up for 3. That's good. Ellis ringer up, and Purdue makes Michigan pay for the miscue, cutting the lead to 6-5. Roush given the right side corner. Nolan lets it fly. Too strong on a 3. Weak side rebound hauled home by Lehman. Layden right to left. Weaving down the left alley. Challenging Roush. Hooks it up off glass. Won't go. Rebound for Woltman. Her follow too strong. And Roush amidst the trees seizes the board. Defers left wing for Leah Brown. Scampers. Pulls up. 18-footer. In and out. And another rebound for Woltman. That's her 3rd already. Fast-paced game evolving here as Cherry works her way across. Drops it off on the right side for Harden. Pushes back for Terry, and now the Boilermakers will slow things down a little bit. Almost 4 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Michigan up 6-5. Terry kicks it out. Left wing Layden wide open off the catch and shoot. She airballs a 3. Terry and Brown jostling for it. Terry gets it. Fires up top Harden. She'll let it fly. In and out again. And Kaiser with the board.
Yeah, listen, Purdue's had the looks right now. They're just not hitting home on them. And Maddie Nolan, that's the exact shot Michigan wants for her.
Short arms a 3 from the right wing. Harden flies in for the board. Quick outlet up the left side for Ellis. Brown is back for Michigan, and Ellis veers back on the wing. Waiting for full strength. Terry catches up top. Calls out a play. 5:40 left in the first. Purdue down by 1 here in Chrysler Center. Michigan ranked 7th in the country, playing host to the visiting Boilermakers. Shot clock down to 7. Terry lobs underneath. It's caught by Layden. Blocked for behind by Kaiser. It'll stay this way, but just 5 on the shot clock. A slow developing possession that time for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, and already Madison Layden has taken quite a few shots for Purdue. This has been a theme for her whole career, and specifically this season. She leads the team in field goal attempts at Purdue, but she really does not make them at a high efficiency. I'd like to see Purdue looking somewhere else here.
Layden catches up top, pulls trigger on a 3, and it goes down. Ringer up for Layden. That's 2 triples so far in the night for Purdue, and the Boilermakers take an 8-6 lead. Danielle Roush looking to engineer the Michigan offense down the near side. Drops it on a hop up top for Leah Brown. Brown moving left, carves her way down the alley, gets to the block, and had it blocked by Woltman, and now they're going to call a jump ball. I think Harden and Hillman were jostling for the rebound. Arrow stays this way. Michigan retains 18 on the shot clock. Wolverines over their last 4, marred in a 2.5-minute scoring drought, trying to snap it right here, down 8-6. The inbound comes into the top of the key for Kaiser. Hard bounce on the right block. Hillman turns, forces it up, and lays it in right over the smaller Harden, and we're tied at 8.
Yeah, and Purdue needs to try their best to just delay that entry pass or just completely deny it to Naz Hillman, because once she gets the ball down low, she is going to score.
Terry doubled high on the right wing, gets it away in the corner for Layden. Back to Terry, gets a running star at the elbow and the crossover, pulls up for the foul line. Jay too strong. Rebound knocked around and pinballs its way to Roush. Roush looking to push across the timeline, streaking down the middle. Drops it off for Hillman at the left block. Difficult catch, layup, got it again. Naz Hillman taking over. She's got 8. Michigan's up 10-8. 4 of 4 to start from Naz, and Purdue is powerless to slow her down underneath. Terry pushes right side for Harden. They 2-play catch as Terry gets it back. Working her way to the point, defers left side for Harden, a whistle, and that's a moving screen. It's going to go on Layden, and that's going to send us into immediate timeout here. 4:14 to play in the first quarter. Michigan up 10-8, a bit of a slow start for everyone not named Naz Hillman. She's got 8, a perfect 4 of 4 from the field.
It honestly feels that way every game, though, doesn't it? Naz Hillman just taking over from the tip. I mean, you got to give her a ton of credit. There is a reason why she is one of the best players in the country and is going after the national awards. And, of course, was picked as the preseason player of the year in the Big Ten. So, I mean, listen, I think Michigan, they're off to a solid start. I'd like to see them spread it around a little bit more. I think Maddie Nolan specifically, it would be great if she can get more involved and find that open shot, because she shoots 47% from 3. I mean, that is unheard of, especially considering that she does take quite a few shots. So I think the Wolverines are in a good spot, because with Naz Hillman racking up the points early here, Purdue's going to try closing in on her, and they'll allow her to just dish the ball out and find open teammates.
And we've seen Michigan's three-point shooting evolve for the better in recent weeks. Nolan is among those who are responsible for that. She's, as you said, shooting 47% from deep, That's the 8th best mark in the nation. But Hillman, as much as anyone, and she's just 0 of 4 from 3 on the year, is responsible for that transformation because her presence commands double teams, commands triple teams. We've seen Purdue send double and triple teams at her so far. It hasn't worked. They're just going to have to keep sending players at her, and when you have bodies flying at her, that leaves shooters open on the perimeter. Michigan's 0 of 3 from 3 tonight. That hasn't been the case in recent games, and it's a really a weapon to have Naz Hillman in so many ways down low, and we've seen that playing a factor certainly through the first 5+ minutes here.
Yeah, and I think Purdue right now, I think they're not in a bad position. I understand they're down 10-8. I understand that Naz Hillman is frankly feasting on them right now. But Purdue's done a good job with the rest of the Michigan players. They're doing a good job with their perimeter defense. And then offensively speaking, I think they've actually played well. They're getting the open looks. They're just not hitting them. I said early on that Madison Layden has taken quite a few shots already in this game. And like I said, that's been the case throughout the whole season. She shoots 38% from the field. That is not efficient at all. And so I think if Purdue's going to win this game, it's going to be through much better ball movement, which we've seen a little bit because, again, the open shots are there. They just got to make them, and that'll happen with time throughout this game.
The buzzer blares, 4:14 to play in the first. Both teams breaking their huddles. Michigan with the 2-point advantage, up 10-8 via 8 points from Naz Hillman, who has come out of the gate scintillating. Wolverines peeling onto the court, wearing the all-white uniforms for their home matchup tonight. Emily Kaiser, Naz Hillman, and Leah Brown remain out there. We've got a fresh new backcourt. Amy Dilk, the senior, and Layla Filia, the freshman. Meanwhile, for Purdue, Brooke Moore has entered the game, replacing Janae Terry. Kaiser high in the left wing, hands up for Leah Brown. Brown is doubled on the perimeter, gets it away on a hop on the left side, looking for Dilk. The ball is knocked out of bounds right in front of the Purdue bench. It's going to stay this way. So a little sloppy there high on that wing. Dilk will put things into motion right in front of the Purdue bench. Gets it in the left side for Leah Brown. Curls around the Kaiser screen, moving right. Scissors her way to the block. Jump stop. Leans in, forces it up. Basket, no good. Too strong. Rebound tipped, and it's going to stay this way. Harden tipped it first. Moore trying to flag it down in the far side corner. Couldn't get to it. And so the Wolverines retain 20 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and I think this is a very big game for Amy Dilk. Like I said at the top of the broadcast, she was one of the leaders of this team last year and everything that they accomplished. This year been dealing with a bunch of injuries, and it's really been hard for her to get into a rhythm here.
Naz lowers her shoulder, fights through a double team, and forces it up and in off the glass again. Naz Hillman, just over 6 minutes into this game, is in double figures with 10. Michigan's up 12-8. Ellis handling up top. She's working with Dilk. Dribbling with the left hand, pushes it on the left side for Harden. Scoots by Kaiser, drops it off on the back line for Woltman. Goes up in a crowd, misses, gets her own miss. Layup is good, counted and a foul. Ricky Woltman, persistence personified, missed the first badly, got her own miss, put it back up and in. Soft defense on the interior that time for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and Purdue's got to stay aggressive like that. I mean, it's worked out so far. They're definitely in this game. They just got to keep it up, and the shots will come with it.
Woltman's a 50% free throw shooter on the year. It's not the 6'4" sophomore's forte, but she buries that one to complete the three-point play. 12-11, Michigan up by 1. Dilk veers right as she brings it across the timeline. Sloppy bounce pass out to the left side is corralled by Kaiser, pushes it back to Bilk, swings right side for Filia, drops it underneath for Hillman. She's doubled in the corner, gets it away on the right wing for Brown. Shot clock down to 12. Brown loops in the near side corner for Dilk, fakes, lumbers inside on Ellis. Dilk up and under, layup, goes down. Amy Dilk, sweet move underneath. Michigan up 3 minutes to play in the first. Ellis on the left wing around the screen. She's hedged up top by Kaiser. Brown stays with her, finds Moore at the foul line. The jumper is good, catch and shoot, nice off ball cut and a better find. Purdue keeping pace, 14-13. Dilk down the left side, pressure by Ellis, drops it for Hillman. Whistles it out right side, Kaiser, extra free in the wing for Filia. Filia slips the screen, gets to the block. Now she's shut off, floats it back outside, and it's picked off by Layden. Layden in the clear's got one man to beat, goes at Brown. Layup is good with the left hand. And Purdue is back in front, 15-14 with a little spurt of their own here. Filia on the right wing looking to settle things down for Michigan. 2:17 to play in the first half. Filia pressured by Moore. Gives on the right wing for Dilk. Lobs underneath for Kaiser. Kaiser for Hillman. Slashing down the alley. Layup good. And a foul. Naz Hillman with the left hand showing her off-ball presence that time. Puts Michigan back in front. 16-15, and what a start for Naz Hillman. 12 points, 6 of 6 from the field.
Yeah, this is this is a start to a very special game for Naz Hillman. Of course, we'll see if she can keep it up, but man, 12 points. She has a free throw attempt coming right here with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Just unbelievable.
Boatload of substitutions for the Wolverines. Maddie Nolan and Danielle Roush back into the ball game. Amy Dilk remains out there with Hillman, and Cameron Williams back in for the first time as Naz Hillman swishes home the free throw, the 73% shooter from the stripe. Michigan a bit of a full court press here. Ellis works her way to the left side. She's doubled in the backcourt. Hillman and Dilk. This is going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with Purdue, but wow, amazing defense and intensity by Michigan early on in this one.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you see two defenders coming at you and you just pick up your dribble. That's why coaches always yell to just keep your dribble alive, because worst case you can try to dribble by someone.
Harden gets it into Ellis. She's pressured again. Tries to snake by Hillman. That's going to be an 8-second violation. 10 seconds, rather. Persistent, swarming, suffocating backcourt defense by Michigan. And Purdue could not get it across the timeline in time. Substitution here for the Boilermakers. Janae Terry re-enters for Ellis, who had a world of hurt trying to get that one across and break the full court press. Michigan up 17-15, a minute 59 left here in the first quarter. Amy Dilk directing traffic high in the right wing, guarded by Layden. Nolan flashes to the key, doesn't catch it. Dilk gives way in the right side corner for Roush instead. Drops it underneath for Williams. She's doubled out on the left wing for Roush. Roush pushes right side. Dilk bobbled the catch, lobs for Hillman, or Williams rather. Lowers her shoulder up with the left. Running hook is good, but that's going to be waved off. Williams caught her with a high elbow. With that right elbow, I think clipped her in the chin, possibly the neck. That's going to be an offensive foul and head the other way.
Yeah, and of course, Michigan fans aren't going to be happy with that call, but it was the right call because it looked like Williams just brought that elbow up and hit her defender right in the face.
So a minute 39 to play in the first quarter. Michigan's lead remains at 2. The Boilermakers, who entered this ball game at 12-6 and 3-4 in conference, took Indiana to overtime 2 games ago. They're hanging with the Wolverines every step of the way so far tonight. Janae Terry directing traffic up top, pushes left side Harden. Got daylight catch and fire. It's way too strong. Rebound corralled on a hot by Dilk. Roush pushing down the left side. High steps into the forecourt, now works the baseline. Wrap around feet on the right side for Nolan. Nolan with more. Feeds Naz at the foul line. She'll let the jumper fly. It's good. That's just how it's going so far tonight for Naz Hillman. 15 points, 7 of 7 from the field. Moore on the left wing around the screen from Woltman. Curls to the point, matched up with Dilk. Pulls up off the bounce for a deep 2 off to the left. Maddie Nolan to miss the tree. Skies for the board. Here comes Michigan. Nolan jets down into the forecourt. Now pushes right side for Dilk. Dilk matched up with Terry. Gets a screen from Hillman. Moving left. Dilk probes. Gets to the paint. Layup. Too strong. Williams wraps in the rebound, but a whistle and a foul first is going to go on Woltman, who has her mouthful underneath trying to guard Naz Hillman. And couldn't keep her off the glass there.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to take off Naz. Of course, I mean, I just wanted to see how much more she could do in this first quarter. Of course, there's only 38.2 seconds left, but yeah, we'll see if Michigan can extend their lead right now.
A well-deserved rest for Hillman. Exits with 15 points. Roush hard bounce pass underneath for Kaiser. Kaiser pivots, lowers his shoulder, slips inside. Missed it with the left hand. Rebound, pinballs, bodies go crashing to the deck. Terry has it for Purdue. Into the forecourt, spinning on Roush, drops it off underneath. A cutting Moore blows the layup, but is fouled. And so Brooke Moore will head to the stripe for a pair with 24.2 ticks remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, great job by Purdue to push the transition there because they had a little 5v4 going on, and Moore with the nice back cut to get the contested layup, and then she'll get to go to the line.
Brooke Moore, the senior guard from Atlanta, spent 2 seasons at Auburn before transferring to Purdue last season. She's an 83% shooter from the stripe, and I just jinxed her as she misses the first too strong.
The good old announcer jinx.
Always rears its head every game. Got this one out of the way early. Moore will have one more to make amends. Dribbles the ball, bends her knees, lets it fly, and it's good. 19-16, Michigan's lead trimmed to 3. Elise Stuck enters the ball game for the first time, supplanting Cameron Williams. Ava Learn into the game for Purdue. Purdue flashing a bit of full court press here. Kaiser gets it on the left side for Dilk, fires for Nolan. Now to Kaiser. Still in the backcourt. Pass is tipped. Roush corrals on a hop. She works her way across the timeline. Trapped, gets it away high up top for Kaiser, and she turns it over. Learn just into the ballgame with the steal. 10 seconds. Up on the right side for Moore. Moore pressured by Dilk with 7 seconds. Harden swings left side for Layden. Attacks off the bounce. Shut off. Moves right. Puts it up from the elbow. Rims off. And Kaiser secures the rebound. So that's how the first quarter comes to a close. Michigan up 19-16, clenching a 3-point advantage at the end of 10 minutes. The story of the first quarter, who else than Naz Hillman? A scintillating performance with 15 points, 7 of 7 from the field, a bunch of high lows, a bunch of layups, even a foul line jumper. What can't she do? And Naz Hillman, the Naz Hillman-led Michigan Wolverines, ranked 7th in the nation for the first time in program history, lead by 3.
Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable that Hillman has, 15 points. She hasn't missed a shot. She's 7 for 7 from the field. I mean, she's been fantastic, and she is the exact reason, frankly, that Michigan reached that number 7 overall ranking. She has been carrying this team, for the last 2 years, and she's shown a keen willingness to do so. And so, listen, Michigan will go as far as Naz Hillman takes them, quite frankly. I think that's how this team has been built, and the injuries that they've dealt with, it all relies on Naz Hillman to lead them off into the sunset at the end of the year.
Emily Kaiser and Amy Dilk, each with a bucket apiece to round out the scoring for Michigan. For Purdue, it's Madison Layden leading the way with 7. It's an important game tonight for Michigan, perched near the top of the Big Ten standings at 7-1 in conference. Purdue, middle of the pack at 12-6 overall, 3-4 in the Big Ten, but not a game that Michigan can overlook, and they have to be careful here. They're surging, riding a 4-game winning streak. Talk is swirling, and anticipation certainly building for the next 2 matchups. Thursday in Columbus against a heated rival, Ohio State, and then next Monday, 1 week from right now, back inside Chrysler Center, number 6 Indiana, number 7 Michigan in a seismic matchup. But the Wolverines have to remain even-keeled and level-headed, keep their focus on this game, which at the end of 1 is a 3-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you look at it for Michigan, I think if you asked Kim Barnes or Erico where she would rather be at with this team, of course she'd take the record and everything that Michigan's done, but she'd rather have this team be more underrated and overlooked, because that's frankly been the case for this Michigan women's basketball team for the last few years, that they haven't really gotten too much national and media coverage. But now, when you have all the eyes looking at you, what do you do under pressure? And that's going to be the question that these Wolverines will have to answer in the coming weeks.
The schedule, of course, as we mentioned, does not get any easier for Michigan. Ohio State and Indiana are imminent. Another clash with Maryland looms down the road. Iowa as well. These are a tough Big Ten conference. It always is. And for Michigan to establish itself in the upper echelon of that conference, it's going to have to keep winning games like this. They've done a pristine job so far, 7-1 in conference, and they're just trying to keep rolling. They're back on the floor here. Emily Kaiser, Leah Brown, Naz Hillman, Danielle Roush, and Layla Filia, the 5 on the floor for Michigan. Leah Brown on the right side, peeling towards the wing. She's shadowed by Layden. Drops it off at the top of the key for Filia. Filia moves left, picks up her dribble at the block end. Lobs on the left side. Hillman, backdoor for Brown. Slashing inside. Hangs through contact. Layup is good. Moore was there to greet her at the rim. It didn't matter. And Leah Brown pushes Michigan's lead to 5.
And that was just a fantastic play. I don't know if that was called out of the huddle, like coaches like to do coming into the second quarter. But great play call. Great execution by the Wolverines.
Layden swings on the left side for Smith. Now works the baseline, shut off by Filia. Back out for Smith, challenges Hillman, gives for Layden. 3-pointer blocked by Filia. Smith plucks it out of the air, working in the pocket. Cross-court feed on the right wing, caught by Terry. Dangerous pass, shot clock at 2, gotta go. Blocked with 2 hands by Leah Brown. Oh, what a defensive possession for Michigan. Here come the Wolverines the other way. Roush on the left wing, and a whistle and a foul underneath is gonna go on Learn, who was trying to front Hillman. And that's just a taunting task for a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who has to guard Hillman, they're in for a very, very long night. And Purdue's done their best. I mean, they've thrown quite a few looks at her. They've thrown quite a few players at her. But no one has been the answer for guarding Naz Hillman so far.
Hillman catches the inbounds feed in the pocket. Drops it off on the left side, looking for Brown and Layden. Active hands with the steal. Pushing down the far side, greeted by Brown, picks up her dribble, fires right side. Terry passed up an open 3 to reset. Moore in the left wing around the screen from Learn. Kicks it right side for Terry. Terry with Kaiser. Turns the corner and is fouled on the dribble drive before the layup. So it'll be a side out for Purdue, down 5. 8:44 to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think Purdue just needs to continue to try to slash at the rim. It'll free up some of their shooters like Layden on the perimeter. They got to just keep trying that and try to chip away back into this game.
Layden catches at the top of the key, calls for a Learn screen. She's doubled, snakes around it on the wing, fires cross court in the corner for Terry. Terry in the pocket, pulls up off the bounce for 2, too strong, and Naz Hillman reels in her third board. Danielle Roush in a hurry into the forecourt down the right side, defers right side for Felia, lobs for Kaiser. Kaiser goes up, layup, got it. Emily Kaiser continues to dominate underneath alongside Naz Hillman. Michigan up 7, 8:15 to play in the second quarter. Terry working up top as Purdue calls out a play. Pushes it on the left side for Layden. She's 3 of 9 from the field for 7 points. Back to Terry. Still looking to crack the scoreboard, giving the near side corner for Layden, working with Felia. Layden dribbles with the right hand around the Learn screen. Kaiser hedges out. Gets it way up top for Moore. Moore moves right. 5 to shoot. Lets the 3 fly. Too strong. Learn hauls in the rebound. Has it stripped. Bodies hit the deck. This is going to be a held ball. Arrow, I believe, is pointing to Purdue. And it is. So it'll stay this way. Active hands by Learn to secure that offensive rebound. Well done by the Michigan players to swarm her after the fact.
Yeah, great bit of defense there by the Wolverines. They have shown that they are going to hedge every screen so far, where they basically bring both defenders out to guard the perimeter and then switch back later.
Ellis high on the right wing. Swivels around the screen, splits the defense, picks up her dribble, giving the right side for Layden. Layden with Brown, shot clock down to 4, fires it left side. Ellis, she's got to go, heaves, and hits. Oh, Ellis, ring her up. She laces home a last-second triple to snap the scoring drought for Purdue. Roush cross court in the right wing for Felia. She'll test her luck from deep. That's off the mark. Rebound Layden. Ill-advised there. Layden, quick outlet at the left side for Smith. Slashes inside. Layup swatted out of bounds. Oh, Layla Felia sent it back emphatically. And it'll be an out-of-bounds play upcoming for Purdue.
And Felia more than made up for the missed 3 that she had on the offensive end. She gets back in transition and does not allow the bucket there. Fantastic block.
Purdue will inbound underneath via Janae Terry. Michigan up 4, 7:15 to play here in the second quarter. Inbound comes in on the right elbow for Layden. Works around the Smith screen, kicks it back for Smith. Smith fires for 3. That's off the mark, too strong. Naz Hillman with the rebound. Purdue just 3 of 11 from distance tonight. Roush working up top, veering left. Angles further toward the wing, drops it underneath for release. Stuck, lowers her shoulder. Layup, missed it short. Rebound fought for. Felia comes in to snag it. Loose ball, Karams to Brown. Brown attacks inside. Layup, got it. Leah Brown weaving through the defense for a pair. Michigan's lead back up to 6.
Yeah, well done by Michigan, just staying on the offensive end, fighting for the offensive rebound, the loose ball. And, you know, sometimes that just results in lucky baskets like that.
Terry angles left with Brown. Kicks it back on the right side. Layden got daylight. Flings up a 3. Short. Roush with the box out and the strong rebound underneath. Circles left to right up the left side. Fires it cross court on the right wing. Leah Brown. Scoots by Smith. Gets downhill all the way inside. Layup. Good and a foul. Leah Brown, the dribble penetration and the finish in a crowd. Michigan has its largest lead of the game. It's 8, and they're looking to make it 9.
Fantastic drive, using her weak hand there by Leah Brown to just lay it up and in. I mean, fantastic play, and Michigan starting to pull away here. Purdue offensively is not getting the open looks that they had early on in that first quarter. The Wolverines have started to tighten up their defense, and they're continuing to hit their shots offensively.
The story of the first quarter, undoubtedly Naz Hillman with 15 points. The story of the second quarter, maybe it's Leah Brown. She's got 6, looking to complete the N1 and make it 7. She does. 15 first quarter points for Hillman, 7 second quarter points for Brown, a 9-point Michigan lead. 6:17 to play here in the second quarter. Purdue breaks the press down the far side. Terry weaves her way through traffic, kicks it out on the right side for Ellis on the crossover. Shut off beautifully by Felia. Tremendous defense by the freshman, hounding her high on the right wing. Ellis has nowhere to go. She's in a straitjacket, gets inside, weaves through traffic, up with the left hand. Oh, she finishes. Talk about a back and forth battle there.
Yeah, it might have been a case of Felia getting a little too aggressive defensively.
Naz Hillman bottled up but fouled on the double team inside, and she'll head to the stripe for 2. back to that other possession. It was right in front of the Michigan bench, and Philia had Abby Ellis, Purdue's second leading scorer, totally out of sorts. The Michigan bench was cheering. Philia pressed way out, probably for about 10-15 seconds, had her running in circles. And then Ellis just pulled a Houdini, got out of it, scissored across the lane, and somehow made the tough finish to go. And she was a little into it after the play. So emotions running high here as Naz Hillman, her first miss of any sorts of the day, clanks the first free throw. Quickly makes amends as she gets the second to go. So Michigan up 29-21. It's an 8-point lead. Wolverines starting to pull away a little bit. Purdue trying to keep it close. Michigan again with a bit of that full court press. Terry on the right side, working across, flips it on the left wing for Layden. Dangerous pass. Stuck was there to get a hand on it and break it up. Last touch by Stuck. And so Purdue keeps possession. I think Layden might have snapped her rec specs. She might need a new pair.
Yeah, a little shaken up. I love the defense, though, by Michigan and Kim Barnes-Rico just varying the looks that the Boilermakers are seeing with some possessions. Michigan's just going full court press and a little bit of zone, too.
The rec specs were okay for those who were wondering. Just a little smudge, needed a cleaning. 8 to shoot for Purdue. Terry high in the right wing working with Stuck. 5 to shoot. Skip pass cross court in the corner. Ellis lets it fly. It was short, but it doesn't matter. The court's pretty wide, not wide enough for Ellis. She stepped on the end line. Turnover for Purdue. That's the 4th for the Boilermakers. Amy Dilk re-enters. Danielle Roush takes a seat. Maddie Nolan into the ball game, coming in for Philia, who gets a warm ovation. 5:20 to play in the second quarter. Amy Dilk works her way across right down the middle, weaving through the block M, now angles right. Pressed by Ellis. Dilk lobs for Brown up top. She's pressured by Layden. Drops it off on the left side for Nolan. Pushes on the left side for Dilk. Catches in stride. Loops for Stuck on the high-low. Wraparound feed for Brown. Cutting through traffic and laying it in. Leah Brown, 9 points now in the second quarter, and Michigan's up by 10. Terry on the left side around the screen from Learn. Works to the point. Now pulls back. Gives on the right side for Layden. Layden dribble handoff with Ellis. Ellis pestered by Nolan. Gets it away for Layden. She's pestered by Nolan. Nolan high on the right side. Learn has trouble with it. Pressed way up top by Hillman. Spins. Sloppy with the dribble. Gets it back. 6 to shoot. Flings it cross court on the left side. Harden lets the 3 fly. Off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Terry. Goes back up. Bank shot. Rims out, but she's fouled. So Purdue starting to wreak a little havoc on the offensive glass. They've got 8 offensive rebounds now, which is way too many for Michigan to surrender.
Yeah, and I think Michigan has really amped up the defense right now. They are very aggressive on the perimeter, like really challenging these ball handlers of Purdue. And so for the Boilermakers, what happens when you do that is you often tend to force up these bad shots. So I think what Purdue maybe should be looking for is to crash the boards like they've been doing, like you said, 8 offensive rebounds. When you're getting pressured like crazy on the perimeter, what you do is you put up a shot and have everybody crash on the baseline for the offensive rebound, and good things will happen. So we'll see if Purdue can try to do that and in general start to get better shots. Offensively for the Wolverines, though, I love the play calling. I think it was the last possession for Michigan. They had Amy Dilk running around, a little bit of a 3-man weave type of thing, and just had quite a few off-ball screens and then cutters cutting all the way to the hoop, and then they got an easy bucket from it from Emily Kaiser. So Michigan's just got to keep it up. They're up 10. I mean, this is probably where everyone thought they would be right now, but they have to keep up the aggressiveness.
Naz Hillman with 16, Leah Brown with 9. Michigan's 2 best players accounting for 25 of the 31 points so far tonight. 4:29 left to play here in the second quarter. Michigan staked to a 10-point lead, 31-21. The Boilermakers not shy to let it fly from deep. They've hoisted 13 threes tonight, but only made 3 of them. They are a prolific 3-point shooting team, coming off the game against Illinois when they matched a program record with 15 made 3-pointers. So that's certainly the formula to keep Purdue's offense at bay, is limit their prowess from deep, and Michigan has done that so far tonight. And then, as you mentioned, on the offensive end for Michigan, Purdue has very few answers for Naz Hillman and then Leah Brown. Once those two get going at the same time, it's hard to beat Michigan, and that's why only 2 teams have done so on the year.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Purdue can do here. You're down 10 with 4:29 to go in this first half. I think Purdue, if they can get it, honestly, to just within 5 or 6, they'd have to be feeling good because this second quarter has been completely dominated by these Michigan Wolverines. So if Purdue can stay within about, the striking distance of about 5 or 6 maybe, they'd have to feel pretty good about coming into the second half here on the road against a top 10 Michigan team.
Michigan percolating from the field. They've made 3 of their last 3, 13 of 24 overall. Haven't made a three-pointer tonight. Haven't needed it, though, so far with the 10-point lead, and the offense is humming along just fine.
Yeah, and that is something that you would not expect from these Wolverines. They love shooting those threes, but I think when you have Naz Hillman getting the production that she has down low, it's been just fine regardless.
Janae Terry, the Detroit native, is at the line for a pair. She's a 73% shooter for the foul line on the year, and she bricks the first. Too strong. One more upcoming for Terry. The 5 on the floor for the Wolverines. It's Amy Dilk, Maddie Nolan, Leah Brown, Naz Hillman, and Elise Stuck. Terry rims out on the second, and Hillman snatches the board. Michigan looking to push. Brown hurrying across the left side, giving the corner. Nolan passed up a 3. Nice recovery by Moore. Jump feed underneath for Stuck. Lowers his shoulder at the block. Now she's walled off. Gets it away on the left wing for Dilk. 15 to shoot. Finds Hillman at the foul line. Working at the high post with Learn. Jab steps, moves left. Defers for Dilk. Dilk shut off by Learn. Knocks her to the floor. That's an offensive foul.
Wow. I do not agree with that one, though. That looked like a complete flop, honestly, from Ava Learn. It didn't really look like Amy Dilk put much contact into that one, but regardless, Michigan's got to be ready and try to get it back on defense.
Dilk walking down a little bit dejected to play on defense. Leah Brown and Maddie Nolan rushed over to her to give her high fives and pump her back up a little bit. Moore in the left wing, lobs to the high post for Terry, moving right, picks up her dribble, kicks it back on the left side. Moore lets the 3 fly, and that's pure. Nothing but nylon for Moore on a 3. And Purdue within 7. Dilk hurrying down the far side. Gets it away for Brown at the elbow, elevates, jumper, too strong. Gets her own miss off the deflection, moving right. Drops it underneath for Naz, lowers the shoulder, spins out of the double team. Bank shot is good. Tough angle, doesn't matter. Naz Hillman again, she's up to 18. The lead's back up to 9.
And what was that, 3 black jerseys right around her, and she still somehow got it to go? I mean, just an unbelievable game for Naz Hillman right now.
Terry at the left elbow, kicks it out right side Harding. Got some daylight, heaves it up, left it short. Maddie Nolan with the board. 3:11 to play in the second quarter. Leah Brown on the right side, underneath, found Elise Stuck in a crowd. Layup, got it. Elise Stuck came down with it, put her right back up. And Michigan has ballooned the lead to 11. It's the largest of the game. 2:56 and rolling left here in the first half. Moore on the right wing, drives left on Dilk. And a whistle and a foul. I think that's going to be on Amy Dilk on the push. With 2:51 to play in the second quarter. Purdue not yet in the bonus, so will be an inbound underneath the basket. Janae Terry will do the honors for Purdue.
Yeah, and we'll see if Purdue can try to get Madison Layden going here as they inbound it to her right here.
Catches on the right wing, pressured by Nolan. Whistles it back in the side pocket for Terry. Pulls back on the wing, working with Brown. Around the Learn screen, pulls up at the elbow, found her spot, and knocked it down. 26-35, Purdue down 9. Amy Dilk zigzags into the front court, moving right. Bumped by Terry, it's a play on. Dilk on the right side, searching, drives left, hounded by Terry, gets to the block, forces up the runner, it's good. Strong dribble drive and persistence for Amy Dilk. Michigan back up 11.
That was a very difficult shot, maybe one that KBA would probably tell Amy Dilk not to actually take, but she got it to work off the glass there.
Moore on the wing, dancing with Dilk, drives left, gets into the lane, forces up the runner, and it rolls home. Oh, what a make for Moore. Slicing her way through the defense to keep pace. Boilermakers within 9. Dilk high steps down the far side into the front court, giving the far side corner for Brown. Stuck works the baseline, and she's shoved by Harding. Fourth team foul of the quarter for Purdue. Amy Dilk takes a seat. Danielle Roush re-enters.
Yeah, and this is Michigan trying to extend this lead to as much as possible before the second half with all their starters back in. Or actually, excuse me, Elise Stuck is on.
Inbound comes in high on the left side for Brown. Fires cross court for Roush. Camped out for 3. Too strong. Fight for the rebound. Moore and Nolan jostling forward, and that's an over the back on Nolan. A little too overzealous. Strong box out by Brooke Moore, all of 5'7", making her presence felt underneath.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, if Purdue can get into a 5 or 6 point game. They have to be happy going into the second half. Right now you're down 9 with 1:44 to go. They're going to have a free throw here, possibly 2. And so you got to make both of these and then get a stop on defense.
It's a costly foul, the one on Nolan, the 5th team foul of the quarter, putting Purdue at the line. It's Brooke Moore, an 83% free throw shooter. She's 1 of 2 from the stripe tonight. 1:52 left in the second quarter. Michigan up 37-29 as Moore gets the soft touch and the roll on the first free throw off the front of the iron and in. Second one upcoming. Michigan's led by as many as 11. Purdue is led by as many as 2 as the second one is pure. 37-30, Purdue with a bit of a full court press. Roush gets it away for Brown, streaking down the middle. Launches ahead of the pack for Stuck, catches in the left pocket. Up top for Leah Brown, bombs away on a 3. In and out, it was halfway down, popped right back out. Moore clears. Moore right to left on the right side, drops it off underneath for Learn, and she's hammered from behind by Leah Brown. No one got back, and Ava Learn was just lurking alone on the baseline, and Michigan will pay for its folly.
I absolutely love what Brooke Moore is doing right now, directing the Purdue offense. She's done a great job finding shots on her own and done a great job finding open teammates right there. Found Learn just camping out on the low block, and now she gets 2 free throws from it.
Knocks down the first. Entered the ball game with just 1 of 4 from the line on the year. Doesn't go here all too often. Too strong on the second as it sputters out. Elise stuck with the board. So Learn splits a pair. Purdue down 6. 90 seconds and ticking left here in the second quarter. Maddie Nolan on the right wing. Back out for Brown. Brown drops it underneath for Hillman. Fires cross court left side of Roush. Lets it fly. Too strong. Rebound tipped in the near side corner. Terry and Nolan fighting for it. Terry gets it. She's doubled by Hillman and Nolan. Last touch by Nolan as it's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Purdue. Layla Filia hops off the scorer's table into the game. Leah Brown, who poured in 9 points in the second quarter, will sit presumably for the remainder of this half.
And just amazing to think right now that these Michigan Wolverines are 0 for 7 from 3, and they have a 6-point lead. I mean, if you had told me that, I probably wouldn't have thought that they'd be leading this game, but they've got it done down low. But again, they got to start hitting those open looks. Danielle Roush was wide open on the previous possession.
Harden skips it cross court on the left side for Terry. 7 to shoot. Terry moves toward the pocket, nearly dragged her pivot foot. Moving left, Moore pulls up off the bounce for 2, left it short. Naz Hillman, strong box out and a board. 44 seconds and rolling. Roush across down the near side, pressured by Terry, moving right. On the wing, drops it off up top for Elise Stuck. Stuck thought about the 3, thought better of it, giving the right side for Roush instead. 30 seconds remaining. Roush is going to reset high up top of the block M. Give left side for Stuck. Stuck searching, hands off for Filia. Shot clock down to 5. Filia curls right, and she's fouled by Learn.
And that's just a bailout foul by Learn. I mean, Purdue had done a great job defensively on that whole possession. They had Michigan down to 4 seconds on the shot clock and completely bailed out the Wolverines. And I mean, honestly, you go from, probably getting the last shot down 6 and maybe making this a 3-4 point game to now Filia could probably make both of these free throws here.
And she makes the first. Talk about that bailout foul. Michigan wasted a prime opportunity for a 2-for-1 as well. Nothing doing in offense. Couldn't even get inside the arc. Filia rims out on the second free throw. Learn snags the miss. Shot clock's turned off here inside Chrysler Center. 38-31 Michigan with the lead. 15 seconds and rolling here in the second quarter. Halftime on its way. But first, one more play. Terry up top working with Roush. 8 seconds remaining around the Learn screen. Snakes right. Stutter step, tries to turn the corner. Gets all the way inside and blows the easy layup. Too strong. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Michigan. I think it went off the foot of Maddie Nolan. 0.6 of a seconds remaining, but Janae Terry did everything but the finish.
It was a fantastic move by Janae Terry, and I was thinking, man, this is going to be the momentum that Purdue needs to head into the second half, be down 5, and then she blows the wide open layup. We'll see, though. They still have enough time to hoist up a 3 possibly or something.
Terry inbounding in the corner. Searching, lobs underneath. Learn came down with it. That's too much time. She airballed it anyhow. That's how the first half comes to a close. Michigan up 38-31, a strong first half performance overall. Naz Hillman led the way with 18 and a perfect 8 for 8 shooting performance from the field. Leah Brown added in 10 of her own. Michigan shooting 52% of the field, Purdue only at 31%. the story of this game can be told via the three-point arc, in my opinion. Purdue held to 4 of 15 for the field, and if you're wondering why Michigan is only up 7, they haven't made of 3. There has been a three-point resurgence for the Wolverines of late, but they're 0 of 7 tonight, and a lot of open threes that have not found nylon.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a Michigan team that likes to shoot the three a decent amount, not as much as most teams actually do in women's basketball. But the fact that they're 0 for 7 from 3 and have a solid 7-point lead really tells the story of what Naz Hillman has done today. You know, with 18 points, 8 for 8 from the field, Hillman is really carrying the Wolverines she's been the only source of points so far in this game for Michigan. And I'll say this, if the Wolverines start hitting from 3, watch out, because, you know, if they already got up 7 in one half without making any threes, just imagine what they can do by making just 1 or 2 in the second half. We'll see.
Michigan had the lead up to 11. It was a 38-27 ball game. Then the Wolverines were held scoreless for the final 2:27 of that second quarter. So we'll see if Michigan can rebound offensively. Naz Hillman, as we said, a majestic performance, particularly in that first quarter. Poured in 15 points, added 3 more in the second. So 18 points on the docket for Hillman. 10 for Brown, who began to percolate in that second quarter, and Michigan's done a nice job on Purdue's 2 leading scorers, holding Madison Layden to just 7 points, and then Abby Ellis to 8, and Layden in particular just 3 of 10 from the field.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what we said at the top, that, you know, Layden will put up her shots. There's no doubt about it. She's leading Purdue right now in terms of field goal attempts, but she just hasn't been able to make them. She had a few open looks at the beginning of this game, but they weren't going down, and she sort of shied away from it in that second quarter. We'll see if they go back to her, because while she might not be very efficient, she does give you a few buckets that, you know, had Purdue really in this game in the first quarter. So it'll be interesting. I think these are 2 teams that came in 2 very different positions and will come into the second half in 2 very different positions. The Michigan will continue to try to do what they did in the first half and just hold this lead. Purdue, meanwhile, like they've been all year, will continue to try to fight, prove people wrong, and somehow come on top of this game.
38-31, Michigan with the 7-point lead at the half at home against Purdue. A win would push the Wolverines' winning streak to 5, heading into a pivotal matchup Thursday night in Columbus. That's going to do it for Neil and I in the first half. Kendall and we'll be back in the second half for more coverage. Kendall and Zach. 38-31, Michigan on top, 7-point lead. We're going to take a 10-minute break here on WCBN Sports. We will be back after that, so don't touch that mouse or go anywhere. We'll be back for all your second half coverage and what is shaping out to be a good one between the 7th-ranked Wolverines and the Boilermakers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to WCBN Sports for number 7 ranked Michigan women's basketball. I'm Zach Levine alongside Kendall Spencer here. 38-31 is the score. Just about 2 minutes until we get the second half underway. What do you think about the first half?
I thought both teams looked pretty good in certain aspects, and there are other aspects on both sides that leave a lot to be desired. Both teams are playing man defense. It's working pretty well for the Wolverines, except for there's a couple of situations where they've just almost completely broken down and allowed Purdue to get inside. Whereas for the Boilermakers, that man coverage really isn't working. There's times where they're just getting completely lost, letting people be wide open, and then they'll pinch in and try and get 3 people on Naz Hillman, and it still doesn't work. In addition, Purdue just not seeing great play from their centers. And Michigan's had a lot of opportunities. They just, towards the end there, kind of stopped making those shots that they very, very easily got open, which is why this game is so much closer than it may appear that it should be.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, Naz Hillman with 18 points in the first half, 18 of Michigan's 38. And the Wolverines are 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Those are kind of big key points to take a look at. The Wolverines are generally a pretty good three-point shooting team.
Well, one of the reasons for that might be the fact that Purdue is first in the Big Ten in opponents' three-point percentage, holding teams to just 25.2% of their 3 points.
Absolutely. Just about 30 seconds until the second half here. And it will be Michigan basketball, looks like, to start the second half. I assume it'll be Hillman, Nolan, Danielle Rauch, Leah Brown, and Emily Kaiser for the Wolverines to start.
Leah Brown is also having a really phenomenal game. Purdue also having something I forgot to mention earlier is really good three-point shooting, especially from players like Ellis and Layden. They've been making some really far ones, shooting basically almost from the logo.
Absolutely, yep. And the Wolverines will take it out to get us started here in the second half in just a few moments. It looks like it is the starting group for the Wolverines, and it is also the starting group for the Purdue Boilermakers.
Purdue hoping to maybe get their big involved a bit more. She had a lot of wide open shots down low. I'm talking about Ricky Woltman, the junior I mentioned this because it's from my hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. But she just was not capitalizing on those, so hopefully that can improve here.
Yep, and the ball is in. The Wolverines have it. It is inside to Hillman, and just like that, there's 20 for Hillman. That's her ninth. This will be her 9th 20-point game on the year, and it's 40-31 the Wolverines. Ellis with the ball for the Boilermakers. Over to Terry. Back to Ellis. Terry with it, 13 to shoot. Screen from the Boilermakers big. Pass. 6 to shoot. Off the mark. Rebound, Danielle Rauch for the Wolverines.
Another scenario where the Boilermakers had Woltman wide open. They didn't even look to her on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside to Hillman, back out to Rauch. Maddie Nolan in the corner. Emily Kaiser off the mark. Rebound, Boilermakers. They're running the floor. But they pull it out. 3 ball. And it's good for Hardin for the Wolverines. For the Boilermakers.
The Boilermakers are going to be making those types of shots. The Wolverines have got to make the easy ones on the inside.
Absolutely. 40-34. And that one went off the Boilermakers. 17 to shoot for the Wolverines underneath the basket.
The Wolverines' defense has done a pretty good job in this game. I feel like I'm almost kind of ripping on them a bit too much. Because when the Boilermakers have to actually set something up, they haven't been the most efficient about it. It's really just getting those long three balls or getting someone wide open on the inside.
Yep, and it was off the mark for Emily Kaiser. It's the Boilermakers with it now. Terry up top. inside. And there, just like you're talking about, there's Woltman with a layup, 40-36. The Boilermakers have started the quarter real nice here. Inside, Kaiser off the mark. Rebound to Purdue. It's Ellis. Just pulls it out. Terry with the ball at the top of the key. Mid-range. Terry hits it. It's 40-38. 7-2 start this quarter. 7-0 run in the last minute or so for the Purdue Boilermakers. There's Leah Brown out to Maddie Nolan. Leah Brown inside and a wide open layup for Emily Kaiser. And finally, Michigan stops the little run there, 42-38.
Kind of what I was talking about there. The Purdue defense, she was wide open. They didn't even have anyone close to her.
Exactly. Purdue's getting set here, 15 to shoot. Terry with the ball near the top of the key. Swings it over to Harden, back to Terry, 10 to shoot. They're taking a lot of time on the clock here. Inside, Woltman wide open. And there you go, 42-40. Wide open once again.
They had taken her out for most of that second quarter, probably hoping, trying to get her confidence back, and you can really see it work.
Maddie Nolan from downtown, 45-40, and there's the Wolverines' first three of the night. It came 23 minutes into this game.
Hoping that'll start something. Maddie Nolan's got such a pure shot. Want to see her keep getting those opportunities here in the second half.
Absolutely. Ellis with it. Ellis attacks on Roush. In and out. Rebound, Danielle Roush. She's pushing the floor. Over to Maddie Nolan. Another three. She got it. Just like that, the Wolverines open the lead up to 8 points again, 48-40. Two big threes from Maddie Nolan here early in the third quarter.
We love to talk about Naz Hillman, obviously, for all the right reasons. She's a phenomenal player, but Maddie Nolan is also such a game changer for these Wolverines.
Yep. Terry attacks. Off the mark. Rebound Terry, but it went off her leg. Wolverines basketball. That's just great defense all around from the Wolverines. And they're playing the right basketball in the last minute or two here after the Purdue Boilermakers went on that little run. Danielle Roush bringing up the ball. They're trying to get Maddie Nolan open again, it looks like. In the corner, Roush with it. Maddie Nolan's calling for it. Leah Brown at the top. Emily Kaiser, she attacks. 8 to shoot for the Wolverines. 3 ball. That one's off the mark. Rebound Woltman for the Boilermakers. More back in for the Boilermakers. 3 ball. That one was from Layden. 48-43. Purdue's hanging around in this one.
They're trying to kind of concentrate their offense around the opposite side that Nolan's on, hoping they can pull that far defender off of her and launch one over so she'll have that open 3.
Absolutely. And just after the 3, a turnover, traveling violation on Leah Brown. So Purdue's got a chance to cut it to 3 or even 2 if they can hit another 3 here.
Cannot let Layden get open again. She's been on all night.
Terry with the ball. Here's Harden inside to Woltman. Goes to work. That's a nice finish, nice post move. 48-45. It's a game of runs here. Danielle Roush controlling the pace of play inside to Naz Hillman. And she's fouled. Looks like they're going to get Woltman with that one, and that'll take us to the media timeout here in the third quarter. 48-45, Michigan leads Purdue with 4:41 left in the third quarter.
If the Boilermakers are able to pull off the upset against the number 7 ranked Wolverines, this will be only their second ranked win of the year. The first one coming against Florida State, which was ranked 17 at the time. They had a 3-game win streak a little while ago before that was snapped by Iowa. Lost a close game in overtime to Indiana and then won their most recent game.
Yeah, the Wolverines have played well this year, but just in general, the Big Ten and women's basketball is incredible this year with Maryland, Indiana, There's just a lot of every conference game in the Big Ten in every sport, but especially in women's basketball this year has been tough all around.
Oh, it's so exciting to watch. Have arguably someone who I would consider one of the best, if not the best player in women's basketball right now, which is Caitlin Clark on the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yep. Iowa's another tough team, and it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes down in Indianapolis and eventually in March Madness, which is just around the corner.
Especially considering since the Big Ten is like so deep, as we've mentioned, hoping that one of these teams, of course we want it to be the Wolverines, but hoping at least one of these teams can, I don't know, maybe give someone like South Carolina a run for their money.
Absolutely. Seems like there's a lot of parity this year, at least in the top 25 between the teams, but South Carolina and Stanford really have been the two dominant teams this year. And we're at the media timeout. Naz Hillman with 20 out of the 48 points for the Wolverines. Both Layden and Moore in double figures for Purdue, but that's it. Just 3 players in double figures so far. Nobody really in foul trouble, either team. But a lot of basketball left here. 4:39 to go in the quarter.
It's been a pretty clean game from both sides. The worst maybe being a elbow from, I think that was the first quarter on the Wolverines, but it's been a pretty clean game for both teams.
Yep. Not too chippy, although sometimes these close conference matchups can get there.
I mean, I definitely think that it's going to get a bit more aggressive as we move on, especially if it continues to be this close.
Yep. And here we go. It is Naz Hillman at the line for the Wolverines, shooting 2. The foul was on Woltman right before the break. She has 3 personal fouls. I misspoke. She is 3's quite a bit at this stage in the game. Hillman misses the first off the front rim. It'll remain 48-45.
Of course, Woltman's been given the thankless task of trying to guard Naz Hillman, and that's probably why she's already got 3 fouls.
Yep, the second one up and good. 49-45 for the Wolverines. Purdue bringing it up the floor. It's Moore with it.
Looks like
Jean Terry, mid-range. That one misses. Rebound Hillman. That's her 7th rebound of the game.
They've taken Woltman out in place of Learn, which could be a problem as Woltman was really starting to heat up there.
Yep. For the Wolverines, Amy Dilk back in, as is Layla Filia. Inside to Hillman, blocked from behind. Rebound Layden for the Purdue Boilermakers 3-ball. Off the mark. Rebound Emily Kaiser. The Wolverines push the floor. Amy Dilk with it. Dilk. Leah Brown off the mark. Terry with it for Purdue. Off the mark, 3-ball for Purdue, and a rebound to Filia for the Wolverines. Inside to Hillman. And she's fouled. It'll be another 2 free throws for her. That one is going to go against Learn.
Yeah, it seems like any player in this game who's been charged with guarding Naz Hillman ends up giving fouling her, because she just will not quit. She'll go up against multiple times in this game against 3 defenders and bully her way through to the net.
Yep. Hillman hits the first. She is now 4 for 6 tonight. Make that 5 for 7. Scores 51-45. Cameron Williams comes in for Naz Hillman. Cameron Williams is an aggressive player down low. Sometimes a little too aggressive, but you'll live with it if you're Kim Barnes or Rico.
Especially the way that Purdue has started looking in towards their bigs a bit more.
Wow, a nice take by Terry. 51-47. Amy Dilk bringing it up the floor. Into the corner. There's Leah Brown. Emily Kaiser with it. Nice pass to Leah Brown, and she hits the little floater. 53-47. The Wolverines are starting to look good, but Purdue's hanging around.
Brown is into double digits now with 11 points.
More. Off balance, no good. Rebound, Amy Dilk with the help there from Cameron Williams. Top of the key, Kaiser. Felia cuts. She looks. Felia hits it. 55-47. Just fundamental basketball from the Wolverines right now. Terry bringing it up the floor for Purdue. Hanging around near the block M. Jump ball. And it will go to the Wolverines.
One place that you're also seeing the Wolverines outplay the Boilermakers here is just in like their scrappiness. They're fighting for every ball, going up for every rebound, something that the Boilermakers just don't seem to be doing. Especially there's been some like really questionable missed passes or just times where they've just let the defender knock the ball right out of their hands.
Yep, and a little confusion on who's getting the ball here. I thought the Wolverines started with it as well, but
it was originally called the Wolverines
right.
ball.
But the Wolverines did bring it out during the third quarter, so it looks like they're gonna change it. It's gonna be Purdue basketball here. They'll need to fix the shot clock. It'll be back at 17, but it's good attention to detail by Purdue there.
Well, considering the run that the Wolverines are on right now, you don't want to give them that ball back
Absolutely.
under any circumstances without getting points of your own.
More on the wing. Swings it. And it didn't really matter. It was a turnover by Purdue anyway, traveling. And so Michigan will take over with 1:55 to go in the third quarter here, up 8. Maddie Nolan with the ball. She's hit 2 threes tonight. Inside to Cameron Williams. And it went out of bounds, but it'll stay with Michigan. 17 to shoot. Into Maddie Nolan. Underneath the hoop, and she'll get a layup. 8 points now for Maddie Nolan. 57-47. Michigan's on a 6-0 run. Maddie Nolan guarding Layden. She'll pick up a foul. Her second foul of the night. And here's Naz Hillman coming back in. And Emily Kaiser will get a little breather. So we've got the Twin Towers and Naz Hillman and Cam Williams on the floor.
Oh, no, we don't.
Cam Williams is out. So Leah Brown's back in. Lots of subs on this play.
Learn coming back in for the Boilermakers. Still leaving Woltman on the bench.
With those 3 fouls. Got to think we're going to see her in the fourth, though. Into Terry. Yep, that one's going the other way. She laid out Amy Dilk flat, but Amy Dilk took it like a champ, and it'll be Wolverines basketball.
Celebrating before she even hit the ground.
Yep. Easy call for the official. 1:20 to go in the third. 57-47. Michigan leads Purdue. Amy Dilk bringing it up the floor. We've got a block going against Purdue. For Michigan, it's Hillman, Dilk, Nolan, Feely, and Brown. For Purdue, it's Moore, Harden, Terry, Learn, and Layden.
Already starting to see this game get a bit more scrappy,
Absolutely.
especially on the side of Purdue.
Yeah,
4
Michigan's in the
already.
bonus for the rest of the quarter. 3 ball from Felia. That's off the mark. But Naz Hillman brings it down, and she'll add 2 more. to her already existing 23 points. Naz Hillman is everywhere. She's got 8 rebounds tonight. .15 to shoot for Purdue. Terry near the top. 10 to shoot, screen.
The Wolverines are doing a phenomenal job of not letting Layden get open for that three-pointer.
Great defense, rebound. But it's a rebound and an and one for Learn. That will temporarily halt the Wolverines' momentum there as Purdue's back within 10 with a free throw coming. But still a great quarter for the Wolverines. 32 and change to go here in the third quarter.
They're kind of bringing 2 players over on defense, especially wherever Layden is. So unfortunately, that does mean those shots on the inside do kind of open up.
Yep, and the rebounds, those short rebounds will be tough, but Learn hit the free throw, so it's 59-50. Michigan can almost hold for the last shot, about 3 seconds separating the shot and the game clock. Amy Dilk with it, near the block M. Over to Leah Brown, screen from Naz Hillman. Leah Brown couldn't go anywhere, she's doubled. Into Emily Kaiser, she shoots it off the front rim. Rebound Purdue, 6 seconds. Terry's going more. She got it off, but no good. 59-50 after 3 quarters of play here at Chrysler Center.
The quarter didn't exactly start the way the Wolverines wanted it, but by the end of it, they were very obviously the dominant team. Their defense was closing any gaps that they had left open to start, really prioritizing who's a threat. Once Woltman is out, they knew they didn't have to cover the inside as much. They could focus on preventing the 3 ball from Layden, who's been really phenomenal so far in this game. And then offensively, still no one can guard Naz Hillman, and it's great to see Maddie Nolan getting into this game.
Absolutely. Like you said, I mean, Naz Hillman, somebody's going to have to guard her, but until they do, there's no reason for the Wolverines to stop feeding her. She's got 25 on 10 of 11 shooting tonight. It doesn't get much better than that and much more efficient than that, especially from a big man who's getting hacked all the time.
Seems like instead of having one person guard Hillman, they're going to go with at least 3. That seems to be working for them.
Yep. And they just have to, Purdue's got to hope that Michigan three-point shooting continues to be where it's at, because if they start to hit, this game could get ugly quickly. But 10 minutes to go, 9-point game. Purdue's definitely still in it, maybe to everybody's surprise. But number 7 ranked Michigan seems to have control as we head into the fourth.
It's the Wolverines in the fourth quarter. Yeah, really just if they can get those 3 balls kind of more consistent. They definitely started opening up in that third quarter, as in the first half they were, non-existent.
Yeah.
If they can kind of keep that, momentum going, they could put this a game away really quickly. I mean, their defense is doing a pretty good job. Their offense, especially on the inside, Naz Hillman and then Leah Brown have been really remarkable players. Just that 3 shot is something that they've probably not been the happiest with this game, but we started to see some flashes of life in that so far.
Yep. And now it will be, after the jump ball fiasco during the third quarter, it will be Michigan ball coming in to start the fourth. And Michigan just wants to keep doing what they're doing. Purdue's got to start heating up to get back into this one. But like we said, 9 points, it's still anybody's game. And it will be, it's like the same crew for the Wolverines. Hillman, Dilk, Nolan, Brown, and Kaiser to start it. Ball is into Leah Brown. Over to Amy Dilk. Amy Dilk with it. 17 to shoot. 3 ball. That's off the mark. Rebound, Maddie Nolan. Another 20 seconds for the Wolverines. Amy Dilk with it. Screen from Naz Hillman. Inside. Emily Kaiser with it. She misses. Didn't hit the rim, but Naz Hillman got the rebound, and that's another layup for Naz Hillman. She's got 27.
Woltman is back in the game for the Boilermakers, only to immediately get bullied by Naz Hillman.
She's got to remain disciplined in the fourth, not pick up a dumb foul here. But she'll hit one, and now Woltman's got double figures for Purdue. Amy Dilk with it. Leah Brown on the wing, inside Hillman. Emily Kaiser now. Maddie Nolan mid-range. Pulls it back out, back into Emily Kaiser. She goes up, no good. Gets her own rebound, but it's taken away by Terry. Excuse me. And it'll be Moore getting fouled on the other end. 2 free throws coming up for Purdue. Got a chance to cut it to 7 here with 8:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Layden back in for Purdue. She's been a threat from deep today. Moore hits it. She's 4 for 5 from the line now.
Moore, one of the 3 Boilermakers currently in the game with at least double digits. The other 2 being Layden and Woltman.
And Moore hits the second one, 5 for 6 from the line. Amy Dilk bringing it up the floor for the Wolverines. 61-54. Michigan leads Purdue. Amy Dilk right in front of the Wolverines bench. To the top, Emily Kaiser back to Dilk. Dilk at the top of the key. Screen from Kaiser. Leah Brown in the middle. Nice dump off to Kaiser. Beautiful pass. 63-54. That's great basketball from the Wolverines.
They're exploiting Purdue's biggest weakness, which has been leaving those gaps in their man coverage, and that was a perfect example of it. Kaiser was wide open. They found her pretty easy.
3 ball for Purdue off the mark. Rebound, Kaiser. Leah Brown pushing the floor now. Over to Amy Dilk. Naz Hillman calling for it. Leah Brown attacks. Amy Dilk. Oh, nice move by Amy Dilk, and the Wolverines are up 11.
You can see her just having fun with it on that one.
Yep. Timeout Purdue. A much needed timeout. They want to get back in this game as the Wolverines were ready to open this one up.
Looking ahead for both teams after this game, the Wolverines will head to Ohio State on Thursday before coming back home on Monday for their last game of January against Indiana. And for the Boilermakers, they will head home on Thursday to play Minnesota and take on Nebraska in Lincoln on January 30th, which is a Sunday.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this Thursday will be a big game, as it always is, Michigan versus Ohio State. Ohio State has shown promise at times this year, but Michigan is on a roll right now. They'll look to repeat their December 31st victory, but this time it'll be in Columbus.
Always means just a little bit more to beat a team in their home turf.
Absolutely, especially anytime you go to Columbus.
Especially in Ohio. What more is there to do in Ohio other than beat the Buckeyes?
Yep.
Not a whole lot.
Yep, and the game against Indiana on Sunday will be another big one, as Indiana was ranked 6th last week. So it will be another top 10 matchup, assuming, well, either way it'll be a top 10 matchup, but assuming the Wolverines hold on here.
For the men's team, looking ahead, they play here against Northwestern on Wednesday. Then they play at Michigan State on Saturday.
Yep, and Northwestern just knocked off Michigan State in East Lansing the other day, so don't underestimate the Wildcats. And, of course, anytime you go to East Lansing, it's a tough matchup. So tough road ahead for both the teams, but the men are looking up. They look like they're playing better basketball late, and the women are playing some fantastic basketball. They're, I think, 16-2 coming into this game. So,
do you think the men sneak their way into March Madness?
I think they will. I think a lot of it is just the fact that the Michigan name will carry a lot. At the end of the day, it's a business, and they'll happily put them in if they're anywhere near. And you look at a lot of the losses, they came to ranked teams or teams that would eventually be ranked. So the men look like they're figuring it out with everybody back in the lineup. But here we are, 7:43 to go, and a 5-second call against Purdue to start it out right out of the timeout. That is unfortunate if you're a Boilermakers fan, as Michigan takes over. Amy Dilk crossing half court now as time ticks under 7:30. Amy Dilk in the corner, 14 to shoot. Emily Kaiser over to Felia.
Wolverines are more than content to take their time here.
Absolutely. 4 seconds to shoot. Hillman, that's off the mark. Only her second missed shot tonight. Moore's pushing the floor.
Hillman only needs one more rebound to move into double digits.
Pressure on Layden near half court. She gets it to Woltman. 12 to shoot for Purdue, and they're nowhere near ready to shoot. Terry has it. She's double teamed. She throws it to the corner. A three off the mark. Great defense by the Wolverines. They were pressuring all over, and Hillman, I think, brought that one down. I think that's her double-double right there. As it goes the other way, and Emily Kaiser with a layup. The Wolverines are opening this one up 67-54.
There was one point on that previous defensive sequence where not a single Boilermaker was even inside the arc.
Yeah, the Wolverines got out and ran there, as Hillman did get her double-double. And that one's going against more offensive. Can't dip that arm and extend it. 6:15 to play.
Danielle Roush checking in for Amy Dilk.
Yep, it's Hillman, Felia, Roush, Brown, and Kaiser for Michigan, and it's more Harden, Terry, Layden, and Woltman for the Boilermakers. Roush with it, not going much of anywhere. To Leah Brown near the top of the key. Mid-range, off the mark. Rebound Moore. Well, I guess Woltman came away with it in the end. Terry attacking. Hesitation, and it went off her own leg. It'll be Michigan basketball.
That was a great play by Felia. She knocked it out from behind her there. Managed to get it to hit off Terry's own leg.
Yep, and the Wolverines will slow the tempo now, up 13 with just under 6 minutes to play. Danielle Roush with it. Inside, over to Felia, 15 to shoot. She'll take a shot at the three, and she nails it. Wolverines up 16. Wow. She hesitated and still knocked it down. She's like, you're not going to guard me. I'm just going to nail this. Terry with it for Purdue. Moore's been a fun player to watch tonight. Nice move, and she hits the mid-range. That was beautiful. They're down 14, but wow, that was amazing. Danielle Roush with it. We'll see if this game gets a little chippy here, under 5 to play. Nice passing cut. And a block called against Purdue. Like Kaiser might have gotten away with one there, but it was on the pass, and that'll take us to the under 5 timeout here. 4:52 to go here from Chrysler Center. Michigan 70, Purdue 56.
Something you're starting to see here is just kind of fatigue setting in with the Boilermakers. Obviously, they've been playing the Wolverines really close this whole game. but that's not something we expected so much from the Boilermakers, whereas this kind of game with this level of play we did expect from the Wolverines. So they're playing in overtime. The Boilermakers are just trying to keep up, and we can kind of see they're starting to make mistakes, and it's like blood in the water, and the Wolverines are the Sharks. They're capitalizing on everything. They're making every single small mistake look so much worse for the Boilermakers.
Absolutely. That is honestly the big difference I've seen in the second half versus the first is they weren't capitalizing on the mistakes, and the Boilermakers were capitalizing on Michigan's mistakes in the first half, and that has sort of flipped around here in the second half Michigan is really taking control, up 14 with 4:52 to play. The big test will come on Sunday, like we've talked about. Can Michigan knock off Indiana? That game will be at the Chrysler Center at 7 p.m.
And as we've mentioned, all of these upcoming basketball games, all of the home ones, and then some of the road ones will be covered here on WCBN. Especially, you should listen to the one on Wednesday for no particular reason. I'm definitely not covering it. Definitely no bias there whatsoever for me.
Yep, on Wednesday, you should definitely tune in for Kendall's call of the Northwestern.
I'm calling both Northwestern games, both men's and women's, which is funny because Northwestern was my #1 school for like 2 years.
Well,
and now I'm here, so.
Let's see if the Wolverines can do a little sweep of their counterparts from Evanston. Here we go, 4:52 to go. They're bringing them out. It appears to be the same crew for Michigan, and it will be Michigan basketball, 20 to shoot. It's Hillman, Felia, Roush, Brown, and Kaiser. For Purdue, it's Moore, Harden, Terry, Ellis, and Woltman. Gets it into Felia. Over to Roush. Hillman with it near the top of the key. Swings to Felia. Felia in. Tough pass. Leah Brown saved it, and she actually saved it, and it bounced around a little bit. She ended up being the first to grab it. It ends up a jump ball, and it'll go to Purdue, but it was a nice hustle play by Leah Brown, nevertheless.
If you had told someone that at the beginning of this half it was a 3-point game, but you only showed them the score now, I'm not sure if they would believe you. But the Wolverines have just completely dominated here.
Yep. A little crazier things have happened if Purdue starts to hit some shots. Who knows? Terry with it on the wing. Inside to Woltman. That foul is going to go against Emily Kaiser. Little hold down there. And Purdue will retain with 21 to shoot underneath. You can see the fatigue from both these teams, but it's a lot easier to be tired if you're winning. Gets it into Moore. Moore pulls it out. 15 to shoot. 3 ball from Moore. Off the mark. Naz Hillman rebound. Her 11th of the game. Over to Danielle Roush. Leah Brown near the top of the key. She attacks. Back out to Danielle Roush. Felia with it. Into Emily Kaiser. Back to Felia. 10 to shoot for the Wolverines. And a foul. Oh, those are the worst against Ellis. Take foul, and that'll give a fresh 20 for the Wolverines. You're trying to come back. The last thing you want to do is give them more time to shoot. 3:57 left.
Especially because, as we've seen, the Wolverines will just run this clock out. They've been doing some really good passing around the exterior.
Oh, but a steal from Moore. She's got a fast break layup. She cuts it to 12. Wolverines up a dozen. Into Hillman the other way. I don't know what that was, but the Wolverines got it. Brown drives. Rebound Hillman. And she gets the and one. Wow. Hillman grabs Brown's miss, adds to her rebound stats, makes the layup, adds to her points, and has a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play to extend the lead to 15 here.
You almost feel like at this point teams realize that you're not going to beat Naz Hillman down low, but I guess they haven't yet.
That one's up and good. Yeah, just like you were saying, I mean, Purdue's put 2 or 3 players on Naz Hillman the whole game, and she's got 30 points. Wow, 30 points for Naz Hillman tonight. That's her second 30-point game of the year, which in and of itself is incredibly impressive. Purdue with it, 10 to shoot. Looked like Purdue went to the backcourt, but no whistle. More to the lane, more off the mark. Rebound Roush. Under 3 to play. Roush is pushing the floor. Felia with it, top of the key. Pass into Kaiser. Kaiser goes up, layup, 75-58. The Wolverines have opened this one up. I mean, this is 2 different games we've seen first half and second half here. Timeout Purdue, a much needed timeout.
So look around the other women's games in the Big Ten. No one else has played tonight. But yesterday, number 12 Maryland beat Northwestern 87-59. Ohio State beat Rutgers 80-71. Michigan State over Minnesota 74-71. Wisconsin over Penn State 69-57. And number 25 Iowa over Illinois 82-56. And there's also only one women's game tomorrow, and that's Iowa against Penn State.
The Big Ten, like we mentioned, has been very competitive this year in both men's and women's basketball, but especially in women's basketball. And here we go out of the short timeout. It'll be Layden taking it out for Purdue. Out of the last timeout, they turned the ball over on a 5-second call. But this time they get it in. It's Harden with it at the top. Back to Layden. Harden now on the wing. Over to Layden. Layden will pull it from 3. She nails it. She's been awesome tonight. 75-61 now. Bullet pass to Felia. She goes all the way. A lot of contact, no call. Out to Leah Brown. Felia in the corner. Hesitated again. Shot it, missed it this time. Rebound Harden for Purdue. She's pushing the floor. She pulls a 3. She got it too. 75-64. A quick 2 threes for Purdue out of that timeout. Naz Hillman with it. Foul on Moore. That was not a lot of contact. That was a quick whistle. And it will send Naz Hillman to the free throw line. That's a big whistle. It's Moore's 3rd foul. Maddie Nolan back in for Michigan.
The refs have been a little trigger happy.
Absolutely.
In the second half.
2 shots for Naz Hillman. First one is up and good. Second one, also good. Naz Hillman's got 32 on 12 of 14 shooting, 8 of 10 at the line. Not to mention her 12 rebounds and 2 assists. She comes out the game, and I doubt we'll see her for the rest unless something crazy happens.
Another thing to mention is 0 fouls.
Yeah. Layden in, blocked. 19 to shoot for Purdue. It'll go out of bounds. 1:44 to play. The score is Michigan 77, Purdue 64. The band is already waving goodbye to Purdue.
This is Layden's 12th straight game with at least 10 points for the Boilermakers.
Wow. just as Terry goes around everybody. Great play. It was beautiful. 77-66, an 11-point lead for Michigan, 126 to go. Quick foul against Purdue. And that one also goes against Moore. That'll be her fourth.
Moore has been probably the best player for the Boilermakers in this fourth quarter, so you really don't want to see her leave this game.
Yeah, it probably won't matter, but for everyone who can't see at home, that probably wasn't a foul.
I thought they were going to call that a jump.
Yeah. Either way, Leah Brown at the line. She nails the first.
I don't think that's a call that would necessarily change the outcome of this game, but
No.
definitely is kind of interesting considering some of the other calls we've seen.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been a foul in the first half of this one. But Leah Brown hits them both, 79-66. 1:20 to play. Terry with it. They're looking to get Layden another look at a three. She's been on fire tonight. Terry's got some moves, a mid-range look. No, rebound Amy Dilk.
No one inside for the Boilermakers on that one.
Yep. Over to Maddie Nolan. Under a minute. Dilk with it. Wide open is Emily Kaiser, but she gets blocked from behind by Terry. She came out of nowhere and blocked her. That was awesome. 16 to shoot for Michigan. Amy Dilk gets it back in the corner. She loses it, but there's Leah Brown with it. Pass back to Amy Dilk into Kaiser. Kaiser walked before she put the ball down. The official got her 41 and change to go in the game.
As we mentioned, though, when you're up,
And
you're
we
able to
got-
make those types of mistakes.
Yeah. Another timeout by Purdue. That's the third timeout they've called in this quarter, in addition to the media timeout. So they're going to drop one final chance. Michigan probably won't get another shot up in this one, but 79-66. Naz Hillman probably done with 32 points tonight. Layla Felia 6, Elise Stuck with 2. And in the game is Leah Brown with 13, Emily Kaiser with a dozen, Maddie Nolan with 8, and Amy Dilk with 6. So pretty, other than the 32 points, a lot of Wolverines got involved tonight. 3 in double figures. 3 in double figures for Purdue as well. They're just missing the one player with 32, and they'd be winning this game.
I think every team is missing Naz Hillman just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Some more than others.
The last, especially the first time by the Boilermakers, was not super effective. So interesting to see if they'll come out of this one and actually make a play.
Yep. And ball is inbounded. Terry with it. She's played a lot of minutes tonight. 37 of them to be exact. An attack from Harden missed off the mark. Rebound Kaiser. Shot clock turned off. It'll be interesting to see if Michigan does anything. Leah Brown has it, splits 2 defenders.
You can hear the applause starting
Yep.
and all the fans getting up on their feet. So it looks like this is going to be 79-66 win for the Wolverines.
Yep. The final. And there's the final buzzer. 79-66 Michigan over Purdue. A great second half from Michigan, but a pretty good game all around. Purdue hung with them for most of the game, and even until the end they were fighting. Good basketball all around. Naz Hillman, 32 points, 12 rebounds. Emily Kaiser with 7 assists for the Wolverines. Anything to add?
Just that this game was kind of a masterclass in adapting from the Wolverines, and especially Coach Kim Barnes-Arico. Anything that plagued the Wolverines in the first half, at some point in the second, they had pretty much locked down, whether it was the three-point shooting or the tendency for the defense to just fall apart. Anything that was an issue for the Wolverines, they fixed, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're such a good team this year, is that they just are so scarily adaptable.
Absolutely. Well, I think that'll do it for us. For Zach Levine, Kendall Spencer, Jared Greenspan, and Neil Sinha, and the rest of the team at WCBN Sports, we wish you a good night and a go blue.